what is the risk companies are carrying if they are not reconciling it on transaction by transaction basis?
If the reconciliation is happening on totally basis, it is fine. But most of the time it's seen that there is a difference. And the difference, unless you have the line by line item, you have reconciliation, you cannot be sure which line pertains to this type of this mismatch. Suppose one person is issuing similar amount of invoice, several invoice to other persons. Say 10,000 rupees he is generating every invoice month on month or fortnightly, or some services or some purchase, maybe 10 lakhs per transaction. I think he is purchasing a goods from 10 lakhs each time, every month or every fortnight. Unless you do a reconciliation by line item, you cannot be sure which percentage of the TDS, which TDS is appearing in your Form 26CS, whether it is matching with whether you have accounted in your books pertaining to that transaction or not. That can only be happen in while you reconcile transaction by transaction. Otherwise, there may be chances. If you reconcile in totally, you can say that this much amount is short coming in your Form 26CS, and you call the customer that this tax is not deposited by you and this amount is not coming as credit to you. He will ultimately ask that which invoice you are talking about. Just give me that invoice, then I will check in the books. And this reconciliation, generally, if you start reconciliation, that will again going to take a time of the account.
Yeah.
Yes.
So because if you have to take corrective actions on the transactions which are not appearing, if totals are not matching, then of course you need to highlight that which are the transactions which are not matching eventually. Right. So that typically makes sense that and if you're doing it manually with Excel sheets or with some VLOOKUPs and all, but still data volume poses a challenge in itself. That's how you are going to manage that data volume and transaction volume. Right. So, and what is the impact if companies are not reconciling it properly? Because one, that you have to close your tax audit for the current financial year. That's one. Second is, there can be a situation where notice comes 2 years down the line, then you have to explain the reconciliations done in this particular year, right? So then my understanding is that typically poses a challenge to explain that how this working was arrived 2 years ago, right? So being expert in this particular area, being a finance leader, what is the impact you see that if reconciliations are not done properly, transaction by transaction, or if reconciliations are done manually? So what is the risk a company typically would carry?
I see here two types of risk. One is tax amount. The tax amount is that risk is that if the tax is not deposited by deductor, that ultimately going a liability of yours. You have to deposit the tax with value filing the ITR or you doing the tax audit. That is the one risk. If you are not reconciling properly, that may be your headache or your headache to handle that liability. And other risk which I see in the sales part. Sometimes what happens some customer of yours, you have not raised your invoice, but he deducted the TDS on the basis of the advance payment, or sometimes that may be because of your provisioning of services, and you have not raised the invoice. If such is the amount, and that amount, if you are not reconciling in your books, or you are not having that transaction as in your reconciliation, what that amount pertains to, then that reconciliation pendingness which may arise in your departmental audits in going down after 2-3 years when the assessment comes or scrutiny comes, that will be the risk. And that time, if you are talk about there are 5 or 6 transactions such, then there are less chances of difficulty. But if there are several transactions like 100, 200, or maybe 500 or more than 500, then there is a lot of challenges in that case if you have not done reconciliation. So reconciliation is an important part.
Right, because then you are carrying a significant amount of risk in terms of why this was not reconciled earlier.
You reconcile. If you reconcile, you have some visibility in hand. If we have reconciled that, and that is the difference, and that can be explained to any government authority in future, whomsoever is asked. But you don't reconcile, then that will be a challenge after years.
Sure. Understood.
Yes.
And what if this reconciliation is automated, right? So what is the, where do you see that you can see some savings, whether in terms of time or whether in terms of accuracy, or in terms of closing the audits faster? So where do you see that the benefit actually will be derived if the reconciliation is automated?
I am happy you people are working for automation, and I've seen your product. It looks fine. Let's see how it can go. But thinking about automation is a good thing. For tax reco, which is the Form 26AS, I have not seen any automation or automated software so far. But I am happy you people are working on it. So with reference to the automation, I definitely, you can say the work which you do manually on Excel sheets is somewhere is a mix of some traditional methods, means paper reconciliation, and some use of technology. But it is a mix of traditional and technology. It remain manual. It cannot be say it is automated. And whatever product I have seen of yours, it says that the things is automated. Matlab you are automatic reconciling. I think 90% or 80 to 90% you are reconciling line to line by items. It is a very good thing. And the rest of things you are providing some features about follow-ups and this thing. So I definitely say this automation will improve the efficiency of the work, and which will ultimately result into the saving of taxes. And faster you reconcile, faster you are sure that the tax is paid to the government by correct method. Faster you are able to say that my tax is sufficient, my tax is now secure, and it is already paid to the correct method, and now you can reconcile your books, and you will be satisfied that your working capital is going nowhere, and it is there and it is correct. So it will help ultimately to the profit. And as I have said earlier, these taxes are 20 to 30% of your profits. So it is a good amount, and you have to take sufficient measures. If some automation is there, that going to increase efficiency in anyhow.
Okay, fair point. Understood, Dawji, and thank you so much for taking out time and speaking to us on this Industry Talk series. And we look forward to your guidance on ongoing basis.
Sure.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.